Wish you blessings to you all to stay healthy and be safe. Let us also extend these blessings to everyone who has been affected by this virus COVID-19. And may they have a stronger immunity. May they receive enough help, enough care, and may they all be healed. We are all spending a very difficult, challenging time as the COVID-19 virus is spreading all around the world. But this is also a good time to put into practice what we have been training our mind for. We have been training our mind in mindfulness and loving kindness over the years. And this is a good time that we can put those skills into practice. These days we practice social distancing. It's very important. It's important to practice that, social distance, keeping ourselves in enough distance among each other. That is out of kindness to ourselves and also out of kindness to others. But at the same time, we have to remember that social distancing does not mean a closed heart. We can outwardly, physically, we can keep a distance, but at the same time, we can keep our heart open. We should not let our heart close because of our distancing. And it's very important to remember that we have that wish of well-being to everyone, and our heart is full of compassion towards everyone. And this is a good time again to practice all or put into practice what we have learned, as I told you earlier. And when it comes to mindfulness, and this is a high time that we can use the skills of mindfulness, particularly paying attention to our bodies, what we do with our bodies, and particularly what we do with our hands, and making sure that we don't simply touch things unwittingly. Even like be mindful, whenever we touch our face, not to touch if it's possible. And also particularly make sure that we wash our hands quite frequently whenever we touch something, we go out. That is a very good practice of mindfulness. At the same time, we can also be mindful of our thoughts, because whenever we hear the news about the spreading of this virus, it is very normal that we can generate fear, anxiety, worries in our mind. We can watch those thoughts and those worries arising, and then make sure that we don't develop them to unnecessary levels, and being mindful about these thoughts, right? And then being mindful about the related sensations arising, and we can purposely try to remind ourselves the other resources that are available to us to overcome this challenge, like the healthcare systems, the healthcare professionals who are working so hard, and all other mutual, the help that we receive from the society. So this is something that we are all going to overcome together. So, and then whenever we have those kind of fears and anxieties, we become mindful about those thoughts, and then we replace them with a sense of gratitude. That the reminding of ourselves the resources that are available for us to overcome this challenge. And then when we come to the practice of loving kindness, and this is the time that we can actually practice loving kindness to ourselves and others, and particularly taking care of ourselves first, and making sure that we take good healthy food, and we keep ourselves healthy, maybe doing some exercise, and taking care of this organism and protecting it with loving kindness. And then during this time, we have to really make a special effort to take care of this organism, and then that is a good practice of loving kindness. And then we can even extend that loving kindness to all others, because we have to remember the loving kindness has a power to heal, power to heal ourselves, and also to heal others. Then this is a good time, we can spread our loving kindness, radiate our loving kindness to everyone. And this is the time that people need love. People need care. People need emotional support. So we can keep wishing well-being and healing to those who have been affected, and then safety and well-being to those people who are vulnerable to being exposed to this virus. So that the constant wishing that we can do in our mind is very important practice. Whenever we hear about any news related to COVID-19 virus, repeat these wishes in your mind, like be well, be healed, be safe. Let those loving kindness prayers repeat in your mind. That's a very important practice we can do. At the same time, we can do a more formal practice, like every morning we can spend few minutes purposely, to do a loving kindness meditation, focusing particularly on the victims of this virus. How good if we can start our day with a good wish to ourselves, to our loved ones, and also to everyone in the world. So dedicating a few minutes early in the morning is a very important practice. This is a period you have to make extra effort to do such a practice. Start such a practice if you are not doing. So spend a few minutes. I will also upload a video on a guided loving kindness meditation, particularly focusing on this virus. And then starting such a practice is very important during this time. So I encourage you to do that. But at the same time, we can also put our loving kindness into action. We can not only wish well-being to others, we can act with loving kindness in our speech and also in our deeds. The other day I was talking to a few friends, and they actually suggested me the one way we can practice loving kindness during these days is to actually be considerate of others when we buy things, when we go to buy things in the stores, and we can practice loving kindness by buying only what we really need, and then leaving other items for other people who may need it. So being considerate in that way is a good way to practice loving kindness. At the same time, we can think about elderly people living in our community. Maybe one way we can help them is to maybe do a shopping for them. We can keep a distance, enough distance between them and ourselves for our safety and for their safety, but we can do shopping for them so they can stay home and they may be safe. That's a good practice of loving kindness. At the same time, we can also think about contributing to our local food banks. There can be people who have difficulty in having basic needs particularly during this time, when many works are not available. And then, so contributing to a local food bank is a very important practice. So I encourage you to do all these activities. And this is more like a self-quarantine time, actually. So we can convert this self-quarantine time as a way of a small retreat, actually. Some people may have difficulty in spending time alone, spending time at home, but this is a good time to spend more time on reflecting. Actually, this virus it can be a good, maybe a wake-up call for all of us. This pandemic virus is telling us that we have to reconsider the way we treat our earth, the way we treat nature, the way we treat animals. So this is a good time that we can reflect the pattern of our consumption. I hope that many nations will open their eyes and then think about changing policies on how to treat the earth, the nature, the animals, all interconnected universe. But at the individual level, we can also think about the way we consume, the way we relate to nature. So this is a good time to do such a reflection. So I encourage you to do such a reflection too. And this virus is spreading and it is contagious. We really have to take care of ourselves and help others to be safe. But at the same time, we have to remember it is not only the virus that can be contagious. our loving kindness is contagious. Our positive energy is contagious. Our smile is contagious. So we should also try to maintain such a loving kindness, such a positive energy, and such a smile if we can. And then we can, that smile, that positive energy, that loving kindness can be contagious. That can be really helpful to so many others. So instead of contributing for this virus to spread around, we can be a person who actually spread loving kindness, positive energy, to help people to keep their the wholesome mind, um, uh, wholesome mind. They can continue their wholesome mind. So we remember that I can be contagious in a good way also. And whenever you hear news, be careful. And we need to be updated of what is happening, what is the current status of this virus. But at the same time, these news can also create fears, anxieties, and worries in our mind. If you're not watchful, these worries can really be, can be contagious also. We may be like spreading worries and fears, to others. And we can really watch that. And then, and as I mentioned earlier, be mindful about this, thoughts arising, and then replace those thoughts with gratitude and loving kindness. So then we can keep spreading positive energy rather than anxiety and fears, because fear can actually make us very selfish and can make us very unkind. So we don't want that to happen. So I hope that you will use this opportunity to put what we have been training for into practice, and then make this period a practice of loving kindness and mindfulness. So with that wish, I would like to end this with a chant, a blessing chant, wishing everyone safety and well-being. Sabbhityo vivajjantu sabbarogo vinassatu mate bhavatvantarayo sukhi diga yuko bhava. May all calamities be averted. May all diseases be healed. May no harm come to anyone. May all be well and live long. May you continue this positive wish.